minions, obviously, and let it push towards you on your side. But if you want to kill structures and focus towers, then yeah, that's the way to go.
Okay, let's move on to the draft analysis. So like I said, we're gonna do both games, and we're gonna review what you guys think of the drafts. What the hell was that?
What the hell was that?
I don't know.
It's called from inside the house.
Okay, all right. So this is the
The
first
killer's
game.
inside the house.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the first game of the Bush League. So this is Dragonshire, and the blue team has Maev, Lucio, Johanna, Alarak, and Li Ming. Actually, this is the second game.
Yeah.
I apologize. This is the entire
the,
game. So again, so it's Maev, Lucio, Johanna, Alarak, and Li Ming on Dragonshire, and the opposing team, the red team, has Thrall, Malfurion, Garrosh, and Hanzo. Again, Thrall, Malfurion, Garrosh, and Hanzo. What should the fifth pick be? Let's go to Scott.
First, I'd just like to add that Phoenix is banned. Right. So, yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Well,
It's sad that we have to say that for every draft analysis. Hurry up, Blizzard, fucking nerf him already. Jesus Christ.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's ridiculous right now. But with the Maev on the other team, you got Li Ming, Alarak, Joanna, Lucio. Maev and Joanna both pull people in. Alarak has a silence, which can benefit from that. Li Ming has her damage that can benefit from that as well. So I think something that could help mitigate Maev's abilities in particular would be useful.
Mhm.
So I would say Blaze or Tyrael would be strong picks. Especially Blaze can solo lane really well.
Mhm.
So
What does All Backpack think?
Same thing. All right, so that team is based around the Warden stage, and you want to get someone you want zone control in order to control the area around the Warden stage and the poles. And Tyrael is probably the best one at that. If she Umbral binds Tyrael, he warps back out. If he puts Warden cage, he puts Sanctification, and that's what you need. I could say also Blaze for the same idea that he drops the Warden cage, you go in the bunker. You need somebody to protect your backline from that really hard engage. So I'd say those two. Also, both of them solo better than, well, Thrall. Well, sorry, not Tyrael, but the Blaze will solo versus Thrall really well. Sorry, the Blaze will solo versus the Alarak really well.
Jesus Christ.
Alarak. Words are hard.
Platinum, huh? Hold
So
on to that platinum.
I think the Maev Johanna combo is pretty freaking strong, and you could argue, oh, Johanna has a hard time getting her W's on players. Well, they have the Lucio for that, for the movement speed bonus, and Johanna drags people in, and Maev has her blades that benefits from
Further
multiple
drag.
targets and the resets, and you can use Warden's Cage on top of that. And Alarak also benefits out of Johanna's W because he gets easy combos off because of it. And Li Ming also benefits out of Johanna's. Do you see a theme here?
Mm-hmm.
There
Also,
is a
all of them
great-
pull. It's like pull, and the pull.
Yeah, it's not an HGC level comp, but it is very nicely drafted for the level that we play at, and it would definitely work in a game like this. And honestly, with Garrosh, you have to basically have perfect Garrosh ganks for the entirety of the game, and Thrall needs to dominate his solo lane for a chance at winning this game, in my opinion. I would say Tyrael, another tank, is pretty good to help disrupt their dive and help disrupt Johanna. And I agree with what the others said so far.
So, Scott, I have a question for you. So, they first, the blue team first picked Maev, and the red team picked Malfurion and Garrosh. How do you feel about that?
I think that's a solid pick. I mean,
Hmm?
Garrosh and Malfurion, work pretty well together.
It's like
Garrosh can peel as well. You could throw out the anybody who's trying to dive the back line. He if you watch HGC, I mean, he's one of the best tanks right now. His crowd control seems ridiculous, as well as his survivability. So I don't see a problem with those picks.
Yeah, also, the Into the Fray will pull someone out of the Umbral Bind because you're unstoppable as you fly through it.
Say that again.
The Into the Fray for Garrosh will break someone's Umbral Bind that may have put on them because you fly through it as you're unstoppable.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I would say,
yeah, go for it, Scott.
I would say about the draft, you could go a different direction than what we said about picking another tank, where you could pick a long-range character who's not going to be getting trapped by Maiev. Hanzo shouldn't really be getting trapped, but also you get somebody like a Junkrat, who his mind provides pretty good disruption for when all three of their melee characters try and go in on whoever gets targeted. I think that would be a solid pick as well.
I think if I agree with Scott, because in my notes I said if the opposing team gets Maiev, we need to go Junkrat because he's has the best disengage that Maiev wants to do. It played properly, obviously, right? So, I think Stukov is a better support for the red team, because if she drops the Warden's Cage, you just throw the silence inside the Warden's Cage, and that kind of negates all of the damage.
Yeah, that's true. Stukov is a good pairing with Maiev or against Maiev.
Yeah, so if I
you
was
could also
drafting,
have that bait him into a taunt combo inside the lurking arm. That's pretty strong.
Yeah. I don't know. I think if I see Maiev, I'm first picking Stukov immediately, because if someone's in that Warden's Cage, that silence is going to negate a lot of damage. So,
it's very possible you will see Maiev next week.
We'll see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not playing against you, so I don't give a shit. But
I mean, you're playing against this team, right?
Well, if they go, like I said, I already have my team comp ready to go. If they go Maiev, I'm gonna stop. I'm not gonna allow them to do what happened to you. I will not allow it.
You will not allow
it. No, I already have
you
a team
shall
comp
not pass.
Yep.
That we can employ. I already have all of our counters ready to go. So if they want to do that bullshit, I will stop it.
Oh.
So Fringe, you say this is Sparta. Oh wait, you can't.
I can't do that anymore. So, no, I'm prepared for Maiev. I have not. I'm Maiev is good, but I'm not really worried about it because I already have the team comp ready to go to stop it. So,
also for those audio listeners who want an image for the draft, so they can kind of visualize and see what we're talking about, we will have the draft analysis images in the podcast feed section. Nice. I guess.
Yeah, we'll have those up, and we'll use those as the thumbnail for the YouTube clip as well. All right. So
what does everyone think about? I was thinking Ragnaros maybe going off of his E build.
He's gonna get wrecked.
He's gonna get fucked.
Really?
Yeah, he's gonna get BFRT, whatever it was called.
That's a bad idea, man.
Yeah, that is one of the worst picks you can do into that comp.
Really? I thought you were saying baiting into the Warden's Cage, assuming he's not caught in it, he could
how do you survive with a Malfurion against that comp?
I was just thinking maybe you can kind of bait out their dive and kill them before.
The thing is that when you have a Maiev, right? If you give them Maiev, you need to find a way to survive the Warden's Cage, right? That's your ultimate. And that's why Scott and Bacon and Blackpack are saying Tyrael, because you can survive after the Warden's Cage is popped.
Yeah, I actually wrote down Tyrael and Ragnaros. I was just bringing up Ragnaros. I do think Tyrael is the best because of the sanctification.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even Muradin with fucking the punch ability. Just anything to disrupt their dive.
Scott just got a boner.
Just punch out Maiev. What are they fucking gonna do? Right?
Well, I mean, there are two counters to Maiev's post 10. That's Malfurion's Twilight Dream and the Sundering from Thrall are possibilities as well.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you have to properly bait all those things, though.
Yeah, and what do you guys think about Falstad too? Is classic pick for Dragonshire,
That works.
global, the Gus to disengage.
That's better than the Ragnaros.
No.
I think he's a little squishy.
He is.
Yeah.
I think you go false out if you're not confident you can win team fights.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
basically not planning on team fighting at that point.
You're just trying to out macro with your global. And if you are going false out, you need to go Dahaka and just global the shit out of them. That's how you do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, just play around him. Don't.
Yeah.
Yeah, never have a team fight. Just always say nope, just out and leave.
Yeah.
That actually was a big consideration, I think, considering how the team fights went.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that would only just delay your loss because there's a cooldown of a pretty hefty cooldown with Gust, right? So,
Yeah.
but
Also
again,
on
if you want,
Dragon
if you want, yeah, if you want false side, you need to go Dahaka and just macro them.
But also remember that Dragonshire, the map gets smaller as you push deeper into them, so the macroing gets less important. You can't split push top with a false stat safely.
And also, it's actually good if you go Dahaka and false side. If you lose team fights, you can just fly up to the opposing end of the.
Yeah.
And then you can stall out the, the objective. So, but I think if you go false side, you're playing not to win though.
Yeah, and one more comment on this map. This is, I found out, one of the most coordination heavy maps, like of all the maps.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I don't
again,
know.
Yeah, there's a lot of rotations.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why you chose it. You chose it, right, Tarbin?
we all discussed as a team when we got the coin flip to pick map. I was
Yeah.
like, "What does everyone think?" We were like, "Let's do Dragonshire."
Yeah.
And I
You
think
guys-
one person, one person didn't speak up and said, and later told me that Dragonshire was the worst map for them. I was like, "Oh, okay." So,
I think you guys should have just went
Communication
Battle of Eternity and just fought them.
hint,
use your,
hint. I've made a list of
Yeah.
only 3 maps that we're going to be allowed to play when playing the next few weeks.
Yeah, like
And
you guys
Battle
have
of
games.
Eternity is one of
yeah.
those.
Yeah,
along
yeah,
with Spider Queen and
hmm
another one. But yeah.
Small maps with no rotations.
no rotations, no possibility for people getting confused.
All right, but anyway, for those who counting at home, it's they went Varian.
Varian, yeah, that was a weird pick.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the Varian.
No.
I think the Varian went Twin Blades, which
No, you went Sea Smash.
Yeah,
Did
it
he?
was Smash.
Sea
okay.
Smash.
That's not too bad. You can try and blow somebody up.
I think also if you do go Varian, then the red team has to play very aggressively. I think, like they can't. As what happened in this game is that, like, there was a little bit of, I guess, too passive play, and we kind of let them decide when to attack us a little bit. So I guess if you go Varian, you have to kind of take the initiative a little bit more.
Well, the problem is that you have no focus damage for a Sea Smash target. Like you have Hanzo who scatters. You
Yeah,
have Thrall who does bolts. Like there's not a very good Li Ming follow up for a Sea Smash target.
true. That's how I planned out. But I think it's
Hanzo
better than
went-
the alternative.
Hanzo went Dragon Era, right?
Yeah.
What about Dragon Strike for when they die? again and lose
That wouldn't be so
games?
bad. No, it would not be bad. That's zone control. That's what
Right?
red team needs. Yeah.
Lucio just ults and cancels all that damage.
True.
Yeah, but you traded an ultimate though. So they just
Yeah,
bounce
but
each
you
other
trade
out.
an ultimate for an ultimate.
Yeah, I know,
It-
I know.
The shield would get eaten up pretty quick, in my opinion. And then you have Thrall's ultimate to help follow up with that. I don't know. Maybe it's just an idea I'm throwing out there.
What if you like sunder them out of the Dragon of a strike? Right? Just put them away.
Do you guys think
Yeah.
that Garrosh is a good pick for Dragonshire? I think it's like one of his worst maps. But what do you guys think about Garrosh in general on Dragonshire?
What's funny is that we had another map choice, and then it was no, that's a bad map for Garrosh, and then we picked Dragonshire.
Yeah, but what do you guys think? Am I wrong? Like,
That's good.
is Garrosh
I
good
think- I
on
think it-
Dragonshire?
I think it's one of his better maps because I think the forts and stuff they're up a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
bad.
good. I mean, it's
And
great.
these tosses, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
sounds like
as
it.
long as like the map gets more cleared in terms of the forts and stuff, and all the cannonballs and whatever, like he's not as good. I think.
The map is so bush heavy. It's easy to get value
Different.
out of that.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So yeah. So anyway, so the red team, the one with Varian, Garrosh, Hanzo, and Malfurion and Thrall lost. So there you go. All right. So let's move on to the other draft, which also took place on Dragonshire. That was the first game. That was so the blue team, the red team.
Oh. That transition was awesome.
What?
Yeah.
See the bicep?
That's funny. That was
I
good.
spent a
Yeah.
good 30 minutes on that, 45 minutes on that one.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. I
There
appreciate.
you
Oh,
go.
there it is.
Oh,
I
boom.
appreciate that.
All right. So the red team.
Wait. You guys realize how like of a phallic that gun looked when I put right to his hip? You notice that?
I didn't notice that because I wasn't
Yeah,
looking there.
Yeah. I
I
didn't realize
noticed
there was
that.
a big, phallic structure in front of his waist.
Look at that.
Okay, yeah, now I see it. Once you point that out.
That was gross.
That was kind of gross.
Look, his Manthon
Oh,
does
it's-
all the
it's
talking.
orange,
He
too.
doesn't need the big gun.
It has that very weird perspective where it's larger in the front part of the screen.
Yeah.
So it's like it's coming out at you.
It's all imposing.
The imposing presence.
Yeah, that's a little bit bigger than a minigun.
Bigger they are.
The bigger they are.
All right, so we are back on Dragonshire, and the red team has Greymane, ETC, Medivh, Malfurion, and Leoric. Greymane, ETC, Medivh, Malfurion, and Leoric. And the blue team has Garrosh, Stukov, Hanzo, Blaze. Garrosh, Stukov, Hanzo, Blaze. So if you are the blue team, what is your last pick? So let's go to Old Backpack.
Wow. So that red team is very damage light. They're gonna have really long sustained team fights. So you want someone who does sustained damage. I would say like Titus.
That's who I picked as well. I wrote down Tychus,
Well, I mean, you just need sustained damage, and he's really good at that.
especially on those targets.
Yeah, you also want to interrupt for the mosh pit, which is also there for you. Yeah, also Titus has pretty good follow-up burst to the Garrosh tossed. You turn your minigun, you burn someone down. And also that you have Blaze there to protect the Titus if he gets dove on. I like it a lot.
Yeah,
All right,
that's exactly what I
what-
went for too.
Okay. Well, what do you think?
Same
Scott?
reasons.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. You want sustained damage. They have a Medivh, so burst damage, Medivh can cancel it. One of the picks that sticks out to me is I like Junkrat, particularly because he can put down mines to on the portals to stop them from retreating. You could also go something else like a Genji, where they use the portals to escape, and Genji can chase and follow up on those low health targets that are trying to escape at minimal life through the portals. So those are my top two picks, probably.
Hey, Scott.
Yeah,
Yep.
Hey, one second. My audio got all screwed up. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
yeah, you
You
sound
sound
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Does it sound better now?
Nope.
No, it's
No,
still
you
the
still
same.
sound bad to me.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's as fuzzy as your beard.
Hmm.
What beard?
Yeah. No. I just I clicked on one thing on my browser. Is it better now?
And it's
No, it's
I
still
wonder
really.
what you clicked.
No, still sounds
Alright,
bad.
What did you click?
I went to YouTube actually because I wanted to figure out who the fifth pick was, and I forgot.
Oh.
Ah.
Yeah. Well, you were on the fifth pick. It was Daz's pick.
Yep.
All right. So our guy who's recording hung up. Nice.
So. There he is.
Yeah, I'm back.
Whoa.
Nope.
No.
You are not bad,
All
sir.
right, you
You're
sound
there,
good now.
Oh, yeah.
Am I sound good?
Better. Yeah, better.
Yeah,
Yeah,
back?
You sound better.
Good.
yeah.
All right. Good.
All right.
All right. Anyway, so where were we?
Do we have any other picks?
Did
We
you
were-
hear my picks or no?
No. No, I did not hear
No.
your picks.
You said Junkrat and
I said
Tychus.
Junkrat or Genji were my 2 picks.
Is the Junkrat to counter Medivh?
Yeah, you can counter the escapes of people who jump out of the portals, and he also has good poke. You're probably gonna want, with the comp you have of Garrosh, Stukov, Hanzo, and Blaze. I think you want another range, and he provides solid range DPS
Gul'dan.
as well.
And wave clear too.
Yeah,
Does that
yeah.
as well.
I thought of Gul'dan earlier too. Yeah.
Horrify the portals.
Yep.
Lunara?
Okay.
Not bad.
Sustain. You get leap to escape any entombs or things like that. Get out of tricky situations with leap. And you get the sustained damage value. And if Garrosh does a good job of throwing people away from Lunara for those peels. But I like Gul'dan better in this situation.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think Lunara is going to be that strong against that comp.
Yeah. Also brings the wave clear because Garrosh is so shitty at that, and so is Stewie.
What about? No, never mind. Not Chromie. I was thinking.
I was thinking
No.
Chromie for a second.
Nah,
Yeah.
that's bad.
Yeah. The Gul'dan.
Like, Liu Ming's
Horrify's too
okay.
good. What about Phoenix?
Oh, Phoenix.
Of course. Yeah.
He's got to
Phoenix
be
works
banned,
everything.
right? I mean,
Yeah, no, Phoenix was banned for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking
All right. Well,
Phoenix.
so the pick was Jaina.
Yeah, it's
That's
the
not terrible.
infamous pick. Well, no, did you hear what Scott said? He said Medivh is going to be there to cancel out any burst.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jaina's
Yeah,
so rotation based and cooldown based, and if
Yeah.
the Medivh was smart at all, then you would wait until she unloaded her spells and popped the
Well,
W.
if Jaina Joe's water elemental is not bad.
Yeah, but
yeah, but you can usually negate maybe 2 blizzard waves in a cone of cold
Yeah.
with a Medivh shield, which
It-
is a lot of damage.
What about Nazebo for the blue team?
Not
Why?
bad. Not
Why?
terrible.
Well, I was
Does
thinking that
Zebo?
he has a good poke. He could solo lane this. I think this is going to be a long game, considering the enemy team, the red team's comp. Nazebo's going to scale well at the end of the game.
Yeah.
I think it's
Also,
a good
you-
solo laner too.
You forgot zombie wall the portal.
Oh yeah, zombie wall the portal.
Yeah. That's terrible.
yeah, I agree with Goonhots. Nazebo is just a worse school, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Well,
Yeah.
Goonhots did list Tassadar, who I think would be a really good pick as well.
for the wave clear.
Gives you
Tassadar.
solid wave clear. He has his shield, which can provide protection when when Stukov or Hanzo get dove. And once you hit 16, his poke is extremely good. He's
That's
one of
true.
the top pokers in the game when you hit 16.
All right. So there you go. There's the draft analysis this week for both matches.
You forgot
this
to
week.
mention the red team won.
Well, yeah. I mean, just assume that the French team will always win.
Well, you didn't say who
Yeah.
was on whose team, but
Oh, okay.
the red
Yeah, so
team won. The
The red team won.
Yeah.
Both teams with the last pick lost.
Yeah, I think this one wasn't about draft. This was more about coordination. I think, to be honest.
It was a pretty close
Uh,
game.
It was.
I'd say it's about player skill.
Yeah.
And the balance being lopsided.
Well, I mean, the Zuni dominates his lane. That's not a thing. Like, Zuni owned top lane the entire game because he's
Well,
the best
actually,
player.
so what they did was they put,
Blaze up there.
yeah, who's Blaze? I forget, I forget who played Blaze, but we knew going in, like once we knew who was playing Blaze, like okay, we can force rotations out of them because Blaze is gonna have a hard time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
but
question about the Medivh. Was that a pocket pick, or you did that in response to?
Oh, so the Medivh came out when they went because we first picked Greymane, and then they went Garrosh,
Stukov.
Garrosh Stukov, and then we insta picked pretty much Medivh and ETC to counter the Garrosh and Stukov. No, because Grizzly's a really good Medivh player, so it wasn't very hard for us to say, okay, now it's time for Medivh, and we just did it to counter the Garrosh.
Well, the thing is too is that if your team is going to play with Medivh, your team has to be used to playing with Medivh. Let's say that.
Well, we did say during drafts is that all you have to do is walk through portals.
That is not as easy as it sounds, actually.
It worked out
pretty
for us.
pretty precise with the portal clicks.
Well, it worked, so I don't know. Worked out for us. And Goon, no, there was no Genji in these drafts. Okay, so all right, let's move on to the team fight analysis. So